Hi everyone, and welcome back to Nervous Nessie. Have you ever wanted to go on an adventure? Maybe it's on your bucket list to see all 50 states in the United States. Well, today I'm going to tell you the fastest, cheapest, easiest way to do just that. So stay tuned. Today we are talking about booking train trips. Yes, that's right. Booking a train is one of the fastest and easiest, cheapest ways to be able to see all of this beautiful country that is the United States. The main train system is going to be Amtrak, and there's really two ways that you can book through Amtrak. One, go to their website, amtrak.com, and you can book directly there. The second way is to call Amtrak and talk to one of their agents. And actually, I've done this, and it's very, very easy and quick to get someone on the phone to either book your trip, or maybe you have questions about a specific train and you want those questions answered. When it comes to booking, you have to think about what your needs are. Do you want to take a long haul trip? If you do, then you might want to book a room. If you're taking a short trip from one city to another city and you really don't need a room, then there's seat options that you can do. With the seat options, you have a basic seat, you have business class, and in some trains you even have like a first class type seat. Now I'm here to tell you, even the most basic seats have tons of room. Don't think of airline seats where you're cramped up right next to someone. You actually have a lot of room to spread out, especially with your legs. The difference between the seats is where you're seated on the train and also little perks that you can get as well. With a basic seat, you're just kind of on the train and you don't really get any perks. With the business class, you're in a separate section. Your seat is designated to you, so you can actually pick which seat you want, versus the regular seats, you just kind of pick first come, first serve. And also with the business class, they usually have some snacks that they give out for free. Well, technically it's included in the cost of the actual ticket. And then in first class, it's a little bit more upgrade on those trains. If you need a room, there's options there as well. You pretty much have 4 different options. The first option is a roomette. A roomette is just a small room. And by small, I mean small. You kind of have just enough room to stand up and move around. And in the roomettes, it will easily fit one person, and it can fit 2 people just a little tight. You could fit the 2 people, but maybe not all of your luggage will fit. The great thing is they do have outside the rooms a luggage storage area. You can also check your bags too. Maybe you brought a bag with you that you're really not going to use and you don't want it in the storage area. They can check your bags in a separate area. That way it's kind of out of your way. With the rooms, you only get the room. Now, you do get access to the community bathrooms. So don't think that you're going to have to hold it for the entire train trip, or that you're not going to be able to take a shower. It just means that you're going to be using the community bathrooms with the other people that are in the roomettes. If you buy a seat on the train versus a room, you cannot access those bathrooms. There's just a single bathroom for everyone with the seats, but there's no showers with the seat option. The second type of room is a basic room. In this room, you can easily fit 2 people, maybe even 3. Think maybe like a small child or really close friends or family. But in the room, you also get a bathroom. And there's pros and cons to having a bathroom in your room. The pro is you have privacy and you can use your bathroom whenever you want. But the con to that is smells. Let's be honest, bathrooms can smell. And unfortunately, if your bathroom is in your room, then those smells will be stuck in your room. There's really no way for those smells to get out. So it's a matter of, do you want your own private bathroom or do you want to deal with the smells? Kind of up to you. The third option for rooms is the family bedroom. This can fit 4 people, 5 maybe, again depending on how close you are with the people in the room or if it's children. And in the family room, you do have your own bathroom as well. The fourth room is the room for people with disabilities. In that bedroom, you also have a bathroom as well, and it's fitted for people with disabilities. All 4 types of rooms vary in price. Roomette is the cheapest, then rooms, family bedrooms. Family bedrooms and the rooms for people with disabilities are about the same cost because the rooms are about the same size. If you're booking a train trip on the East Coast of the United States, most of those trains do not have rooms. A lot of those trains are kind of more commuter trains, so you're going to have to pick an actual seat versus a room. But some of the trains do. In more of the northeastern corridor, that's where a lot of the commuter trains are. But as you're coming down the eastern seaboard, there are some trains that do have rooms. So whichever train you decide to pick, just look and see what your options are and go from there. A couple of tips when it comes to booking Amtrak. Number 1, book in advance. I'm talking way in advance. Book months out, book a year out. Have your idea for your trip, where you want to go, what you want to do, and plan way ahead because the trains fill up very, very fast, especially when it comes to the rooms. When you go online and you look at the rooms, you will see the percentage of how full the train is. Sometimes it's 10%. It can be all the way up to 100%, but it will show you the percentage. That percentage also gives you an idea of the cost. If it's only 10% full, the cost of your ticket's gonna be way lower. But as that train fills up and the percentages go up, the cost is also going to go up. When you book a room, you don't get to pick which room you want. You just either pick roomette, room, family room, or the disability room. Unless you know this little tip. When you go to book, let's say on the Amtrak website, you book your room, either a room or a roomette. After you book, call Amtrak. Get an agent on the phone. Tell them which room that you want, and if it's available, they'll put you in that room. But don't wait, because as the train fills up, your room that you want may not be available. Another way to just kind of take out the middleman is to just call and book direct through the agent. They can do it while they've got you on the phone. Also, when booking, leave yourself some cushion. Trust me, leave yourself cushion. Now, what I mean by that is, let's say you're going on a long haul trip. You're going from point A to point B. Maybe in this scenario, you fly to a city, get onto the train, take the train one way to your destination, and then you're flying back home from the point B destination. But you want to leave yourself cushion at the beginning and the end of this train trip. Why? Well, if you're flying into a city and on that same day you need to catch the train, What are you going to do if your flight is delayed? The train's not going to wait for you. It's going to take off. So leave yourself cushion. Maybe fly into the city, book a room for the night, and then the next day is when you're going to get on your train. Same thing goes for the end of your train trip. For the Midwest to the West train trips, all of the Amtrak trains have to give priority to the freight trains. What that means is if the train is on the track and a freight train is coming, they have to stop and let that freight train take priority. So you're just sitting there and waving as the freight train goes by, but this is adding more time to your trip. The longer your trip, the more time gets added as it goes along. And so you may end up in your destination a couple of hours, if not several hours later than what was originally told to you. And that's completely out of Amtrak's hands. They have no say in what freight trains are going when. They just have to stop and let them pass. So on the back end of your trip, you want to leave yourself cushion as well. Maybe stay in that city for an extra night or two before flying back home. Otherwise, you could miss your flight. Now you may be wondering, why does it matter which room I get? Well, there's pros and cons to the rooms. Whether it's a roomette or a room, there's kind of some pros and cons. Most of the trains that have the rooms and roomettes are double-decker trains. You have rooms upstairs and rooms downstairs. And there's pros and cons to those. If you get a room upstairs, one of the pros is that you're getting great views. You're higher up. So cars on the ground, smaller buildings, you're a little bit higher and you can get a lot better views. But one of the cons to that is that the higher you are as the train's going, it's gonna shake a little bit more. So if you're prone to motion sickness, maybe not get one of the higher rooms. The flip side, if you get a lower room, is right the opposite of that. You're lower, you don't get the great views, but the train doesn't shake as much. If you get a roomette, which means that you're having to use the community bathrooms, most of the community bathrooms on the trains are on the lower level. So if you want to be close to the bathrooms to where you don't have to walk so far, get a room on the lower level. Otherwise, you're going to have to go down the stairs to get to the bathroom. One of the great things about getting a room with Amtrak is food. You get your food included. That is all your meals. Whether it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner, it's all included in the price. And if you break down your transportation, room, all your meals, that makes Amtrak a very, very cheap choice for being able to travel and knock out several states along the way versus having to rent a car and drive, pay for gas, insurance, hotels along the way, all your meals, and it just adds up. So why not take the train and it's all right there in one happy little package. For the breakfast and the lunch, it's first come, first serve. So once you get on the train, talk to the person that works on the train and say, hey, what time is breakfast served? What time is lunch served? You want to get there kind of before everybody else because some meals are a little more popular on the trains than others and they can run out of those meals. So you want to get there first to make sure you get exactly what you want. Otherwise, you could be stuck with something that you didn't want. But Amtrak food is great. I'm not talking 5-star restaurant great, but it's way better than airline food, trust me. And the dinners, those are by reservations. You have the earlier dinner and the later. And once you get on the train, they'll ask you which one that you want to do. If you pick the later dinner on the first night of your train trip, for the second night, then you get pick of first or second. A lot of people want to pick the first dinner reservation because they want to make sure they get what they want and they don't run out of food. So if by the time they get to you, the only option is the later dinner reservation, don't worry about it because the next night you'll be first pick for if you want the earlier or the later dinner reservation. Let's talk ways of saving money when it comes to taking trips with Amtrak. One thing you can do is become a member of the Rail Passengers Association. For a fee, you will become a member of this association, and when you go to book your Amtrak trip, you can give your member number and get discounts for the trip itself. This is great if you want to start taking a lot of Amtrak trips, and you can use that membership for other things as well too. Another way to save is to buy a rail pass. The way the rail pass works is, let's say you decide you want to go from point A to point B, but somewhere along the way there's a really cool whatever that you want to see. Maybe it's a monument or a park like Glacier National Park. And you're like, well, I don't want to just wave as it goes by. I want to be able to stop and see it. Well, by buying a rail pass, what that allows you to do is to hop on and off the train. Now, think of this. Your train is going, it gets to a stop, and this is where you want to see whatever it is. You hop off the train to go see it, but the train drives off and leaves you because they're not going to wait for you to explore during the day whatever it is, Mount Rushmore or whatever. So by buying the rail pass, the next train, when it comes through, you can hop back on and continue your trip. Of course, you have to keep in mind, if you buy a room on the train, you're going to have to take your luggage and stuff with you and haul it around during the day and then get back on the train and put your luggage back on the train. The best way to do it is to hop off the train, have a hotel booked wherever it is that you're going to be, stay for the night, and then the next day catch the next train to hop on and go to your destination. When you book your trip, you want to sign up for Amtrak's rewards points. Now, I know we talked about rewards points in a previous video, and I'll have a link right here for that if you're curious about how that works. I mean, it's free. Why not? Just sign up and get the rewards points. You can start accumulating points for your trips, for any meals that you buy on the trips. Let's say you didn't buy a room, but you bought just a regular ticket and you buy some meals. All of those add up and get you points. You can use those points for future trips. You can even use it for things outside of Amtrak, whether it's a hotel or an excursion or a rental car. You can use those points for things other than Amtrak because Amtrak partners with other places. I know today I kind of skimmed over Amtrak and the trains, kind of what they're about and booking, but I'm going to be showing you guys 2 videos coming up soon, and one of them is going to be train trip with just a seat. The other one's going to be a train trip where I actually have a room, and I'm going to give you guys a tour of the train, let you guys see the meals, and see what it's actually like riding on Amtrak. If you want to find out when those videos come out, hit subscribe and you'll get notified of when those videos drop. I hope you like this video. If you do, give me a thumbs up. And if you have any questions about riding on the train, maybe you're curious about the rooms and kind of how everything works, or maybe you want to know some great train trips that you should take, just leave a comment below or leave your question below and I will try to get to those. And I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video. Bye!